Good morning, everyone. I am Kate McCauley, the Marketing Manager here at iTech Support, and I'd like to start by thanking you all for joining us today to our Securing the Human Network presented by Humanisec. Before we get started today, we are recording this presentation, so we will make it available for download at the end of the event, and if you have any questions during the webinar, please enter them in the Q&A box to the right on your screen. We will then answer them at the end of the webinar, and if you have any later on in the day, you may feel free to email myself or Doug at the information we give you at the end of the presentation. Also, I'd like to let you know, if you aren't already aware, this year iTech's awarding a $20 iCard to those that attend the webinar and fill out the survey at the end of the webinar. And all you have to do is like us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter. Below are the links to both our Facebook page and Twitter pages. You may enter as many times as you want by attending as many webinars as you like. And you only have to like us or follow us on Twitter the first initial time you enter the contest. We'll provide this information at the end as well if you can't grab it right now. Today we will be talking with Doug Shields from Humanisec. He's one interesting fellow. He has been a former officer with the CIA who left the government service to try out the commercial sector. And in 1995, while working for a defense contractor, he began a web development and hosting division. And then in 1998, he created a security division. Doug was focused on information security for over the last 10 years, with a focus on helping companies defend their networks against the bad guys. And that is what he'll be discussing today. And more recently, he's focused on the human element by illustrating companies and how simple it is for these bad guys to gain network access just simply through your own employees and those around you. Doug founded Humanisec last year, and he's hoping to fix this serious issue within your organization. When he's not busy keeping these bad guys at bay, he enjoys competitive slalom water skiing and spending time with his two sons. I think you'll truly enjoy listening and learning from Doug today. He's definitely going to open your eyes to an ever-increasing issue of network security and how to stay ahead of these bad guys. So without further ado, we welcome Doug Shields.
Thank you, Kate. First off, I'd like to say that it's my perception, it being in the security space for quite a bit of time, is it seems that the attacks are getting worse and worse, more prevalent. You're reading more about it in the news, but the knee-jerk reaction seems to be to shovel more money at the problem when money doesn't necessarily solve the problem. As you see on that slide right there, a third of all the successful computer attacks were through the employees, through social engineering. This is according to a Verizon study. What that means is instead of just, offshore hackers trying to gain access to your network, hacking away through the technology, they're actually preying upon your employees and using the employees as a foothold into your data. One LinkedIn scam alone, $100 million was drained from U.S. bank accounts. And if anybody's using LinkedIn, you kind of feel how that would work. You get a friend request or a LinkedIn request, and you go ahead and accept it, or you get something that comes into your email that looks exactly like something you expect to see. You click on it to either accept the LinkedIn request or whatever, and bam, your computer is now infected. If you're in the financial industry, better yet, if you're an accountant with the company or the organization, then that's even worse, because now they've got a man-in-the-middle of attack between you and your bank account. RSA is actually one of the companies that's helping people protect their information by selling in two-factor authentication, those tokens with the one-time passwords that change every second or minute rather. They actually lost all of their intellectual property, basically how that source code actually works. They lost it when an employee clicked on an email that looked legitimate but was targeted specifically to that employee, trying to get them to open that attachment, which then, again, installed a backdoor on their system. Stuxnet, you've all heard of course. That was the Iranian nuclear facility. The whole thing went down. They actually made the centrifuges spin out of control and break by a nice piece of code that was on a thumb drive. The network wasn't connected to the internet, of course, but it didn't matter because the thumb drive was plugged in and had the code on it. My last company, we actually pioneered the thumb drive attack. We were breaking into credit unions back then, but U.S. government or Israelis took that to the next level, of course.
Yeah.
So we've got just our little demo here.
Remember, in nearly all network security configurations, technologies like firewalls, antivirus scanners, and virtual private networks have all been put in place to protect your data from prying eyes outside the company. But little can be done to prevent loss once they've sidestepped that technology. Once they've breached that virtual wall, all bets are off. And accomplishing this is surprisingly, frighteningly easy. In fact, no matter how advanced or robust your company's information security systems actually are, would you believe all of them can be foiled with something as small and simple as this? And by doing little more than, well, dropping it off?
Seriously. What the? This is not good.
So that little dramatization there is something we like to show employees to give them a feel for how their actions can bypass network security and take down the entire network. There's a lot of drama there. We actually took down the entire power in the building, but you kind of have to get the point across. You kind of have to make it personal to the employees and get them to think about something. So we're hoping after this full video of training that they won't ever look at a thumb drive the same way again. So, and the reality is it may get worse. The younger employees that are starting to come into our companies are admitting that they really don't care too much about to adhere to company policies on security. They want to stay connected to the network at all costs. So if it means bringing in their smartphone, because you block Facebook, they'll just use Facebook from their smartphone at their desk. And heaven forbid they then plug that into the company network. The challenge you face as technology improves and we increase data security, you know that the bad guys are going to step up their attacks. They're already doing it. Like I said, a third of the attacks now are against the employees. They've figured out that that's the weakest link. And as employees get looser and looser with their information, they're typing stuff everywhere, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and you cannot use technology merely to police this stuff because they, like I said, they have their own smartphone or they're typing in stuff to Facebook at work. They're holding a door open for somebody in the back. They're answering the phone, and you can manipulate them into giving you stuff over the phone, passwords, whatever. No amount of technology is going to stop that. So really the only solution, that works is proper training. So what are some of the concerns? We've got employees might be posting stuff on Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn. We can do an assessment to, harvest that data and find out if indeed they're putting sensitive stuff out there. Hospital employees have gone and posted patient information, not good, HIPAA violations. Are you concerned employees may infect the network with thumb drives, music players, and phones? Big concern there for a lot of companies and organizations. Physical access, again, our employees, holding the door open. One of my favorite ploys is to go to the smoker entrance or the back entrance with a bunch of pizza boxes. I got a fake badge hanging from my neck. Nobody looks at it closely, and of course, everyone's helpful, and they let me right in the back door because I'm holding the pizza boxes. People are very nice that way. Phishing attacks, obviously a huge concern now. I believe that the best practice to stamp out phishing attacks is to actually do an attack that looks like a real attack, but is not. It's set up, it's staged. But because it's staged and set up, we can actually find out how many people have clicked on the link or provided the ID and password or whatever we ask them to do. We then fold those results into the training. It makes the training more real to the employees. They actually see, oh man, I'm glad I didn't click on that, or or I did click on that, oops, that was a test. We let that settle for a little bit, and then we do a second round of attack, and now you can measure real world risk reduction. Before training, people, 60% of people clicked or gave us their password, whatever. After the training, only 20% clicked. And then, of course, many of you are starting to think about the mobile devices. What risk do those things bring to your company or your organization? So we can test for any or all of these concerns and then provide the training to educate and hopefully fix your employees. It's really behavior modification more than training, getting them to never look at a thumb drive the same way again, look at their smartphone the same way again, look at somebody coming in the back door the same way again. We don't just trust everyone implicitly. So we have our solution. There's plenty out there, but ours, we try to distinguish ourselves by using actual video clips. Video seems to be better received than PowerPoint, and we use either simulated breaches or better yet, an actual breach in your organization, so that they can see, one of their suite mates or cubby mates held the door open for somebody, kind of brings it home to them, or they see, their building on the video. It really helps a lot. We integrate your policies and procedures into the training. It doesn't do much good to go out and do a PowerPoint presentation on some particular piece of security if it has nothing to do with your policies, your needs. If you disable USB ports on the entire network, well then skip that module. It doesn't gain you much. And if you have fewer cubby dwellers than others, maybe you have people walking around with PDAs. That's going to be a different spin and a different message than you're going to get if everybody's just sitting on a computer connected through Ethernet. We like to finish up each module with a quiz. It ensures that we had some knowledge transfer, and also for compliance purposes, we'll know then how many people actually took the training and passed it, and if our training was on the money. If everybody's failing question B, well then we've got a problem with our training. Why us? Like I said, there's a bunch of people out there doing it now. I think that the main differentiator for us is that we're actually doing the social engineering, then the training, then the social engineering again. So again, you can actually tell that you've trained your employees or you've modified their behavior, better yet. We've got deep experience in that, in social engineering. We understand it all. We think like bad guys. In my last company, my job was to go and do the surveillance on the organization, whether it's through Facebook, the parking lot, watching people come and go, whatever. and do just like a bad guy would and say, if I was a bad guy, how would I break in here? So we bring that experience to you to try to make a very effective presentation. And I think we've nailed the training model down better than some of the others with generic PowerPoint. It's flexible, it's focused, it's taking you and your needs and gearing the training up specifically for you. This is not a one-size-fits-all. It's more of a boutique type of an offering.
So at this time, do we have any questions? If so, just enter them over in the Q&A box, and we will respond to them now. A question for you. What are you seeing that's most prevalent right now with network security?
The big issue right now is, and most companies are dealing with, and they've been dealing for a while, is phishing. And the phishing has gotten better and better and more targeted. If I can target your employees, if I can find out through Facebook or Twitter or LinkedIn, I know who your employees are, where they work, what their job responsibilities are, what their email address is, who their connections are. It's very, very simple to craft a very effective email into them that the odds are very likely that they're going to click on it.
Mm-hmm.
And we also do it with removable media, like I said, thumb drives or a CD with information. If I know, Kate's sister is in Peoria and just had a baby, it's pretty simple to send in a package
mm-hmm.
to her office with a CD with baby pictures written on it, and odds are pretty good she's going to slide it into her computer.
Right.
Unless she's on her guard, at work, like we want people to be.
Mm-hmm. That's very helpful. I think a lot of people are running into, especially with the bring your own device. I think that's very prevalent right now, and there just needs to be new processes put into place, and you guys can come in there and really say these are where you need help and strengthen that, so people understand coming in, this is okay, this is not, and we're all doing this to help each other, really.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I don't think there's any other questions. As you see here, this is our contact information. You have any questions for Doug later, this is his email and his phone number, and check out their website, as well as if you have any questions for us over here at iTech. There's all our information, and like I said at the beginning, there's our Facebook and our Twitter accounts. If you go and like us and follow us there, and then fill out the survey that will pop up at the end of this presentation when you close out, you'll be in the running for a $20 iCard gift card, and it's usable at many, many different shops, restaurants, spas, etc. And also, just a heads up that in May 17th, we'll be holding a BYOD webinar. So we're still building on this conversation. It's what everyone's talking about, and we just need everyone to get up to speed and know what others are doing and how to best protect your network and your employees. Thank you, Doug, for being here today and sharing all this great information. I think probably opened a lot of eyes to people. And other than that, I thank you all for joining us, and have a great day.
Thank you much.
Thanks.